start with the cool stuff, or at least what's to me the cool stuff. Cosmetically, you can see the truck, and we'll talk about that. But the big changes that we have, if you haven't heard already, is we extended the track out an inch, and that in front and rear, that helps us make a little more stable stance on there. And we've changed the suspension, so of course the spring rates are different and the springs are different front and rear. But with that, we lifted the truck 2 inches. We have about 1 inch more wheel travel on the truck itself. And we changed from our off-road package. We use a Bilstein shock. We've always used Bilstein. We really like Bilstein shocks. But for this truck and what we wanted to do, we could not find the technology with Bilstein that would allow us to get the performance that we were after. So we changed to Fox, and this is the first time we've used Fox shocks. The Bilstein shocks on the off-road package are 1.5 inches. These shocks are 2.5 inches, so 66 millimeters in diameter, and they're Fox's latest technology. What's really cool with them is we worked with Fox to tune this truck to do what we were looking to do. And it's a floating piston in there. The piston itself, difference again between our off-road package, that is using a 38 diameter piston. We're using a 47 diameter piston in this one. We also, the rod of the piston itself for our off-road package is a 10 diameter. We went to a 22 diameter on this, and it's a hardened rod. So, you know, it's really, the whole emphasis of this truck is taking all our capability that you all experienced up in Tacoma, Washington, and adding that high-speed element to it. So the great thing with the Fox shocks is we put aluminum body on the shocks, and the shocks have what we call position-sensitive dampening. And really what that means is we are changing how the shock reacts as you get into the shock more. We have 5 compression zones and 3 rebound zones in the front. We have 7 compression zones and 4 rebound zones in the rear. And really, again, what that means is as you drive this truck, what you're going to notice over the other trucks you drove, especially our off-road package, is that initially you're going to feel a softer ride. There's a lot less dampening up front. It's going to be a little softer. It has a little bit more body roll. But as you get in that shock, and when you get out on the race course, you'll get to open it up a little bit. And even as you're driving out there, you're going to start feeling that shock is progressive. So as you get deeper into the shock, it's going to help dampen out what you're taking into it. And it's aluminum body shock that helps dissipate the heat, that prevents our shock fade from overheating the oil in the shock itself. And the other thing was we worked with them and changed the base valve. So the fronts are coilover, the rear has a piggyback reservoir in it, but that base valve, changing the base valve, that's something we did with Fox independently to stop any cavitation. So really, you can go out and push this truck to its limits, and you don't have to worry about cavitation causing shock fade or that overheating causing shock fade. Like all of our pros, we went to a 1/4 inch skid plate underneath the truck. One of the things we did here from the past is that it was a real pain in the butt to change the oil. So we have put a trap door in there so you can get to the filter, you can drain the oil, you don't have to take that skid plate off. That's again just making it a little more convenient for the customers itself. Cosmetically, we've changed the grille. We have our traditional Toyota front on all the pros, hood scoop. We blacked out the headlights, but what is really cool is we teamed up with Rigid Lighting. And I don't know if you're familiar with Rigid Lighting, but Rigid Lighting's #1 in off-road lighting. Rigid has some great optics. They're just kings in optics, and I like to run Rigid Lighting myself, but we teamed up with them. And one of the things that we worked with them on is I cannot offer off-road lights as an OEM because it doesn't meet federal regulations. So there's SAE J583 is a standard. We have to meet that. But one of the challenges I gave to Rigid is I've got this package, and what I really want to do is I want to light the front end of the vehicle up, just like an off-road light would do, but I've got to be in compliance. And they kind of chuckled at me, and then we started working on it. But we went with split optics in here. So this is a really, really tiny fog lamp that puts out a lot of light. And this fog light itself has split optics in it. So we meet, for the fog light portion itself, we meet that SAE standard. The upper optics of that light throws a beam out and lights the road up. So if you look at our standard fog light that we have in the off-road package that we offer, our wide fog light, that puts a beam out about 8 meters by 12 meters. This light puts a beam out 15 meters by 20 meters, each light. on this, and unfortunately you aren't going to see it today, but if you put these on, it just lights up the whole area and is compliant. So you know, you look at the light itself and it is really small, but it whacks a wallop in there. Again, wheels are different. We stayed with the Wrangler tires on the truck. We've had a lot of luck with that, and that's mainly to keep the Kevlar sidewall itself. We think that's important for the off-roading. It gives us a little more sidewall strength on there. Black over fenders, there's hood graphics, there's also a graphic package with it, and then the badging that goes on the truck itself. If you look at this truck here, you can see the reservoir shocks, and we have put an extended dust cover on those again to protect the shocks and keep them clean as they go through their cycles. So if you're running in sand, you're running in mud like we're going to today, the main thing is keeping those shocks clean and ensuring that you have the capability to go wherever you want and also get back without having any problem. One of the things I did forget to mention in the front, I talked about the body roll is going to be a little bit more than off-road package, and it has to do with the suspension tuning. But to improve that, because the center of gravity of the truck is a little bit higher, because we have a little softer damping on that, we increase the front stabilizer from a 28 to a 30 millimeter. And that's helping with that oversteer or the understeer that's going to occur because of the higher center of gravity. And it also helps with that body roll that you're going to feel a little bit more of in there. But you really need to get in the truck and drive the truck. I told them I won't spend a lot of time talking about it. You can get in there. Cosmetically on the inside, we went to leather on this. One of the things we heard with our past pros is the customers come out and says the fabric is really, you know, just what you're going to experience today. You get in there with mud, it's hard to clean. So we went leather on it because it's easier to clean. It's got the TRD shifter in there, and then you can see some embroidery and floor mats and cosmetic features of that. Other than that, on the automatics, we still have our crawl control, we still have our multi-train select, so it's all the features that you know, really make our off-road package best in class. And then, like I said, this is just adding that high-speed element into the mix. So we truly believe we have the most capable truck in the segment to do whatever you want to do.